Good afternoon. This is Dr. Bill White again with the American Orthodontic Society, and I have an interesting adult case. It's a young adult, but something that's very interesting. There's just all kind of interesting orthodontics in adults. When you get into people that have in a sense neglected their teeth and then changed their mind and they want to keep them. They found out they can save them for years. In other words, I guess if you took care of your teeth properly, they could last you 150 or 200 years. You know, I'm the 92 this next birthday, and gosh, I would use these 100 years before to wear them out, maybe even more. So your teeth are extremely durable, and you're not going to wear them out brushing them. That's a cinch. But this is an interesting case, and it's going to be very short. I just want to show you what you can do. These two cuspids were completely out. They look like they're just sticking out here on the gum tissue on the other side. Let me get over here and look at nice looking young man. I don't know, I think I've got a little fungus or something there on his nose. But here are these two cuspids that are terribly exposed. Now if I can open up and torque these teeth and bring them inside, but if the tissue comes over them, getting the tissue to grow back to the tooth is very difficult, if not impossible, and so you're going to have a pocket around them, but I can put those teeth back into the bone structure, but I'm going to have some room. So we felt like the cuspids were more valuable than the first bicuspid. They have a bigger root, even though a lot of it's exposed here. So we felt like we would use these cuspid teeth, and we sacrificed the bicuspids to do it. Now this is something that somebody else might have thought they wouldn't want to do that at all, and they'd go ahead and eliminate the cuspid. But really that cuspid's a better tooth, even though a great portion of the root is exposed out here. It's a better tooth than the bicuspid, so we elected to do that. Now in addition, he's got a central tooth missing right up in here. So we're going to open this up and put a central back in here. We'll just put a little temporary one on his retainer, and he'll have it. That'll hold the space open while they do a bridge. Now back when we was in 83, we weren't doing very many implants. Of course, you could do an implant and put the tooth back in there like that. You could make one of these Maryland bridges and swing it off or something. But the implant would be better. In 83, they just weren't quite as certain, and they lost a lot of them. But I don't know how. Anyway, you can fix that thing with a retainer, and he could wear it and fix that tooth whenever he could afford it or get around to it. Now let's look at this a little closer. Let's see, he's in a little bit of a class 2 relation where these molars are meeting. Actually, the lower molar should be out and fitting in here, and so it's slightly class 2 also. And I've just got a few pictures here to show you, but I want to show you can torque this tooth and bring it into the bone and put it into place in there. Now up above, this central and this lateral I can't tell for sure. This is a big lateral, and that's the central, and here's the lateral over here, and the upper cuspids are gone. I don't know whether he was missing them or what happened. I just saw him at this point and tried to do the best thing we could in a reasonable way to help this young man so he could look a little bit better. So in the lower cuspid area, rather than take the cuspid out, we decided to remove the bicuspids in here, and we'll slide this cuspid back into this position and have space for this to line up, and we can pull this into class 1 relation doing that. Okay, now he's not brushing them, and he must be smoking or something. All this junk on those teeth. I'd like to get him cleaning them up better. So here we go. We took the bias out, we bracketed the cuspids, and then you put some reverse torque on them. You're going to tilt the crown forward and bring that root in a little bit, not too much, because it'll just have tissue over it, but get it where you'd have to pull his lip down real far to see what it was. And it fixes this up where it's nicer. Now here is a deciduous, that is probably a plastic tooth that we put in there to hold this space. And we can take that same tooth and put it on his retainer when we get through with it. So this is one way of repairing that, and I thought that would be of some interest to people who might come in with some situation like that. This adult orthodontics makes it so interesting. I mean, you have to sit down and figure out what would be the best way to do this. And this helps you and helps the person. Now you see we've got it in a class 1 relation now, and this is going to have a pretty good overbite and overjet when it settles in. So let me see, I don't think I have too many pictures on him, but I don't think I have any finished stuff. Now you can see this tooth that we added here. The tissue comes up in there. When we build a retainer, we'll put some wires and run them up into this with metal heavy, pretty substantial wire that will come out here in the acrylic, you see, to make this tooth pretty strong. Looks like it needs to be brought back a little bit more, and this lateral needs to be rotated. And this is a different shaped lateral, so it's taking up a little more room than the other. So his upper cuspids were just gone when we saw this young man. Anyway, this will help him out. And down below now, we're going to close this space and bring those teeth further forward into that deal. And this is lined up pretty good, and here we've closed his space pretty well, and his second molars are hooked on here. I don't know what about his wisdom teeth. I don't have any x-rays here to show you, but he's fixed up pretty decent. And we have one central also that has some root exposure. Now you can come back and graft tissue over these, but getting to attach tissue to the root is very difficult and almost impossible to do. But he looks a lot nicer now than he did with those cuspids sticking out like they were. So anyway, I've torqued them in, but they're going to leave just a cup in there. Got a good profile, everything, and now he can smile, and you get those things cleaned up and take care of them, and it'll help him. So this is adult orthodontics. There's just a world of stuff like this out there, and a lot of it is going untreated. People just don't want to jump on that kind of material. There it was, and here is the way it looks today. I mean, after we put him in retainers, but when we started out, it looked like that. So if he smiled, that looked like he had those two fangs sticking out here on the side. So this is what we like to do, help people out, and there's just a lot of this type of orthodontics to do. Now, if you enjoy these videos and they help you in your work and everything, it would be good if you would join our group and subscribe to this. So we don't know, we have a lot of people that don't subscribe but that listen to the videos. We would really appreciate your subscribing to our program here, and we'll continue as long as we can to show you the various ways of doing orthodontics. So thanks for watching, and I'm going to sign up, or sign out, I guess we'll call it, and close up. Thank you now. Bye-bye.